press all the time. No, the fact that I get along with Kim Jong-un, North Korea.
That's crazy.
President Xi.
That's crazy.
It's all good stuff getting along, but nobody ever took money out of China like me. I took hundreds of billions of dollars out in the form of tariffs and taxes. No other president took not 10 cents.
Donald Trump will not stop talking about how friendly he was with leaders like Xi Jinping and Vladimir Putin, and how the media treats it like it's a bad thing when in reality it's a good thing. But I get the feeling that Donald Trump was the one being manipulated in this situation when he met with Xi Jinping or Vladimir Putin. So it's not helpful to normalize relations if you don't get any leverage, if you're not able to exert any pressure. And we know damn well that Donald Trump did not exert any pressure over Vladimir Putin. But Donald Trump said that and a lot of other wild things on Jake Paul's podcast. Jake Paul is a social media star turned professional boxer somehow, but Donald Trump went on this podcast trying to pander to the youth, and he did not do a good job. He wasn't impactful, he was not coherent, he rambled a lot, and his policy prescriptions were not concise. He went through a lot of his standard talking points, and I want to break them all down. So in this next clip, Donald Trump talks about the fighter Khabib coming up to him after a fight and trying to talk to him about foreign policy. Donald Trump also highlights Khabib having a close relationship with Vladimir Putin, which leads me to wonder, why would you take foreign policy advice from someone who repeatedly gets kicked and punched in the head and is friends with Vladimir Putin? If this person wants a ceasefire in Ukraine, think about how that could benefit Vladimir Putin and not America. Watch this clip.
You know, it's very interesting, though. So Khabib came up to me after the fight the other night. And, you know, you guys would probably say he's the best ever, maybe. And, you know, certainly he probably is, and or very close, right? John Jones, a lot of people say.
I'd say 1 and 2.
And, you know, and he said to me, oh, I hope you can get in because we have to stop the wars. We have to stop the killing, the killing. He was so smart. He understood it. And I think he's friends or was friends, but I think he is friends with Putin very much.
Yeah.
But he said, we have to stop the killing, and it's true. And I think I'd have that war stopped if I was president-elect. Right after the election, if I win, I will get that war stopped. I'll get it stopped fast before I get to office, if it's not stopped before then.
Talking about Russia, Ukraine.
I'm talking about Russia, Ukraine. We'll get it.
So Donald Trump says in that clip that he will have the war stopped before he even enters office, when he's president-elect, which implies that he has the power to end the war even when he's not the president, but he's not doing it now. He's waiting until we vote him in, which in my opinion is almost like dangling the keys of a ceasefire above the heads of Ukrainians and Americans. And a lot of Ukrainians don't want a ceasefire if it necessitates ceding Ukrainian land. They would rather keep fighting and pushing back against Russia. But either way, this idea that Donald Trump can end the war before he's even president is just not true, and it's a weird flex because that means that he is purposefully not ending the war. But watch this clip of Donald Trump getting asked to give some life advice for a young man who wants to succeed, and Donald Trump's advice is almost laughable. I thought for 1 second he would say something deep, but watch what he says.
For other young people in this country who are looking to get ahead, because for a lot of them, times are tough right now.
It's very tough.
What would you say to them? Kids who want to pursue their own version of the American dream and try to achieve their wildest dreams and make it all come true?
I would say very simply, honestly, vote for Trump. Because with Biden, you're never going to do it. This country's going to hell. Vote for Trump. You know, we're doing great with youth. We're doing great with African Americans, with Hispanic Americans, through the roof, both of those groups, with women, with men. And with young people, we're doing very well. But I say vote for Trump.
Even Jake Paul was expecting some sort of deep answer, and all Donald Trump could say was vote for Trump. But I think young kids overwhelmingly believe in climate change, and Donald Trump would strip EPA protections. Young kids overwhelmingly believe in gun reform. Donald Trump wants to strip any sort of gun control, whereas Joe Biden is the exact opposite. Young kids want education reform. Joe Biden wants to fix the root problem of college being so expensive and forgive student loans. Donald Trump doesn't care whatsoever. Young kids want a democracy. Donald Trump would strip our democracy away. Everything Donald Trump stands for is the antithesis of the future that young kids want, so I don't think he knows what he's talking about right here. Watch this clip of Donald Trump being asked about UFOs and giving some BS incoherent answer.
That one of these orgs is potentially hiding information from you about aliens?
I guess so. it's you have the deep state, and you do have a deep state, and certainly they could. But I don't think on this subject. I was interested in it because I've been asked so many times, and I talked to people that have said that they've, you know, it was a sighting, and it's very believable. It's very possible that there is something. And why wouldn't there be? You know, you take a look at the universe and you see all of the different planets, and you see this, you know, look, here we are on one relatively small planet. Why wouldn't there be on a planet that's, you know, 400 times the size? Why wouldn't there be somebody? So, you know, it's certainly believable to me.
The thought of it freaks me out. You know, it's weird to think that we potentially are only.
I actually do slightly agree with Donald Trump's point about the universe being so massive and there are so many planets that there probably is some life somewhere. I guess a broken clock is right twice a day, but anytime he's talking about politics, he is totally wrong, like in this next clip, where he rambles about German shepherds and then talks about Xi Jinping giving him advice to kill drug dealers, that they don't have drug addicts in China because they kill anyone that uses drugs. Donald Trump has this authoritarian plan to start executing drug dealers somehow. He wants a quick trial, which is what he calls it, rather than rehabilitate people, which is more of the liberal vision. But watch this clip.
The best thing is a German shepherd born in a certain
dog.
Do you know that?
Sure.
No
Yeah.
way.
Oh, they're unbelievable.
Yeah,
They go right to it. It's not even, there is no machine. You know, you spend $2.5 million for machinery, and the dog is much better.
More dogs.
And
more dogs.
we literally bred those dogs. It's a very specific type of German shepherd from a certain part of the world. It's the most incredible thing. We worked very, very hard on that. I was with President Xi. It comes from China and it comes in through the southern. So Mexico's it comes through the southern border. And I was with President Xi, and I told you we got along great. You know, the COVID was a step too far as I was concerned, but we got along great. And I said, "Do you have a drug problem?" He said, "No, they give the death penalty in China. If you sell drugs," I said, "I'd like you to give the death penalty to people that are making fentanyl and sending it over to our country." And he was going to do that. And then we had the election result. And of course, Biden never picked up that conversation. I told them about it. But he was going to give the death penalty. If he did that, you would have had this literally almost stopped.
Giving the death penalty to drug dealers is such a simplistic answer to very complex problems, just like putting up a big border at the wall and having that fix decades and decades of problems at the border. Donald Trump's entire interview with Jake Paul was completely incoherent. He told many, many lies, but you guys already know that. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like, comment a blue heart if you made it this far. I read all the comments, even if I can't respond. Hit that subscribe button and have a great night.